So thank goodness that I waited until the day I am doing this video to do this video, as I do have my ET look on today. But yeah, we were going to talk about what the big plans were for Dwayne Johnson or The Rock at WrestleMania 41. Then we had that Netflix show. And well, to be honest, I'm not sure we're any the wiser. Now, I don't think this is the worst thing in the world because, again, go look what his appearance on that NXT show did. They essentially did almost 1 million viewers, and the 18 to 49 demo jumped up too because he popped up and went, "Oh, hi, it's me, The Rock." He does definitely not sound like that. But when you have that kind of drawing power, and you are one of the biggest Hollywood superstars, you can essentially do what you want. So if Dwayne Johnson does wake up in a week's time and go, "You know what, I would like to be part of the show of shows," well, I suppose this is where the caveat comes from WWE. They have to have one set of plans. If they have to write a new set and call it Plan B, well, yeah, you're going to do that too. Because let's not forget the business, it's all about the business, but I will also caveat that and say, you as a fan don't have to worry about television ratings, you don't have to worry about finances, you don't have to worry about anything apart from what you're seeing on that screen, which is why we discussed this on Ups and Downs. When we did review that Netflix show, make sure you check it out now, it'll be somewhere on the screen, you'll be able to click on it. I totally understand somebody's disappointment. If you did want to see the final boss, because when you do go back a year to 2024, that was arguably the best character we saw in all of professional wrestling, because not only was he really entertaining, not only was he funny, he also gave us that line, "Off is the direction you can flub." I think about that all the time. It should probably be in a book of quotes. If you are a keen social media user as well, though, you will see this constantly. And it's the usual voices popping up and they literally say what I just said. And they're like, yes, of course, WWE has probably had their WrestleMania 41 plans in the book since October. But there's also this other sort of secret book and secret file of facts. Whereas if they do have to open it and sort of change things, because The Rock does decide he wants to do it, well then, yeah, you need to be ready to pivot. Now, I actually think this is totally cool because, again, we've just discussed the kind of drawing power and gravitas The Rock does have, but look at both alternatives here. Let's say The Rock is going to be part of WrestleMania 41. You are not going to be able to convince me that it's going to be against Cody Rhodes. If WWE does try and retcon that one, it is going to be super duper difficult. Because, of course, him and Cody both laughed about the fact that he did bludgeon him outside of a bus 12 months ago, which actually tickles me because I am an idiot. So fine, you don't want to go in that direction, it's a shame, and we will just have to ponder what The Rock gave to Cody Rhodes in his hand on that last Raw before he went away. Be the same as Vince McMahon's lockbox, and who the flub through the pie. But because The Rock did come out and put the Ulafala over Roman Reigns' head after he had beat Solo Sikoa, and yeah, I get he was nice to him too, and they hugged like, "Oh my gosh, we're the best people ever," I do actually think that you could probably go back to that one when The Rock turns around and goes, "Screw you, man, I ain't doing it." Well, that does bring me to my next point. Because surely one of the reasons Dwayne Johnson did turn up in this, guys, was not only to appease the Netflix executives and, of course, put his best foot forward in terms of marketing purposes, but I would have to assume that he just wants to be a babyface. Like, I don't know that for sure. I'm just speculating here. And are you going to be able to do Roman Reigns as the heel in that situation? No. And you can pitch them both as babyfaces, but you know the WWE universe. They'll all go, "Well, I'm going to choose you over that guy." So somebody will get cheered and somebody will get booed. Then what the flub do you do then? So I'm not going to write this off in any stretch of the imagination, and again, if it does happen, you are going to get people so excited, because even in the build to WrestleMania 40, WWE did the right thing by putting Cody Rhodes back into play, but you can still see some of those posts. There were some fans that were like, "Oh man, I can't believe it. We were this close to Rock and Roman Reigns, and now it's been flushed down the toilet." This is when I double back round though, because it just goes to show, for the last year or so, WWE has been in such a good position, because I suppose now we can say their choices for the Sunday night main event spot at WrestleMania 40 was The Rock versus Roman Reigns, or the big Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes match when Cody finished his story. And that basically launched WWE to have one of the best years they ever had, and The Rock still got to feature. I mean, that is having your cake and eating it, and I was always told that's not possible. This is when we zoom forward to WrestleMania 41, and we Britney Spears this, because whoops, we've done it again. Because again, The Rock says, yes, I'm going to do it, whoop de hey, we could all get excited about that, and we do The Rock versus Roman Reigns. And apparently, the other main event is going to be John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. I think some people are poo-pooing this too easily if I had told you 5 years ago that during John Cena's retirement tour, his last ever WrestleMania was going to be up against Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. You would have slapped me round the face and I would have gone, yeah, you should have done that. Even though I've come from the future to share this information with you, it sounds so redonkulous, I deserve to be punched. But once again, the rumor mill seems totally made up. That is the direction that WWE is going to go in, which means on the other main event, again, maybe you're going to get The Rock versus Roman Reigns, and we've discussed how good that's going to be, or you're probably going to get CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. I don't want to repeat what I just said, but if you were told someone even as recently as 2022 that that was going to be at the table of WrestleMania 41, people probably would have fallen over because they would have just been so annoyed that you would be so happy to lie to their face. The really cool thing about both these matches is that you can lean in to the reality of this situation, which is what 2025 wrestling loves. Obviously, there is a connection between The Rock and Roman Reigns, and you can use the Eula Fowler in the tribal chief position and being head of the table, whereas honestly, go back and listen to Roman Reigns talk about CM Punk before Punk came back to the WWE. I think he likes him. It's the same for CM Punk as well, because again, he has made a few barbs about Roman Reigns over the years, and given that they are both professionals, and because they are about to main event one of the biggest shows of all time, you just know they're going to talk about this, and who is slap bang wham right in the middle, ready to stir the pot? It's going to be Paul Heyman. Now, you don't have to be excited about that, but I can only talk about it from my vantage point, and I can feel it in my loins. I'm getting pumped. Shouldn't have said that. So really, I think WWE is in a fantastic position, but also they will have learned from last year. I mean, you can go on YouTube right now, find WWE, and watch the documentary they made about the grand old pivot. Because of course they had decided to move Cody to one side and do The Rock versus Roman when we got the We Want Cody social media campaign. So yeah, they changed all of the plans. Now we jump forward to 2025 once more. Triple H ain't no fool. He ain't no idiot. I'm sure he's talking to Dwayne Johnson all of the time. So this goes back to the two books we've talked about. One without Dwayne, one with Dwayne, and yet both are going to appease the same set of fans. And don't forget, I mean, maybe not The Rock, depending whether he wants to come back or not, but you can do all of these matches whenever you want to do them. It doesn't have to be at WrestleMania, especially because you've got a two-night SummerSlam. So maybe that will be the deal too. Maybe we'll do those two WrestleMania 41 matches we did just discuss, and then you get to the second night of the Slam in the summer, also known as Hot WrestleMania, which is definitely true these days, and then you get your big Tribal Chief Rock versus Roman match. Then the whole year, well, you know, people keep saying, oh man, eventually WWE will cool down. Apparently they become Kermit the Frog. But I tell you, if that does happen, it'll be 2026 at the earliest. So it really is just a fascinating time for professional wrestling and WWE. And I'm going to compare this to a sports team that has two-star quarterbacks. Like, people in the media will always ask the manager or the head coach, oh man, what are you going to do about this problem? And without missing a beat, that guy should always go, well, I tell you, it's a wonderful problem to have. There was a time when we couldn't even figure out who was going to headline WrestleMania, who was going to win the Royal Rumble. There didn't seem to be like there was any good choices because we had no stars. And now we have so many current stars that you can take The Rock, who is the biggest of them all, and move him to one side, or he will move himself to one side, and it doesn't actually make a huge difference because what you have on paper is still WrestleMania worthy. I also think it massively helps that WWE has won back the faith of its audience, because again, go back to that crazy 2024 period. I'm going to hazard a guess here, but I would imagine if it was the WWE from, say, 2020, that whole thing would have been an absolute mess, and it was still totally nuts for a weekend. But the results we got at the end, well, I think that event is brilliant, and both main events are pretty much damn well superb. When you put all this in a box as well, you can start to see why WWE is doing so well, because they went back and fixed the major problem they did have, as we go on a little bit of a tangent, and that was looking at the current crop of wrestlers and going, you're our guys and girls, let's get on this elevator, because we're going to the top. I would imagine The Rock himself is aware of that, and don't forget he is a part owner, so the success of the company does affect his bottom line. I'm sure that he's got enough money. And really, WrestleMania sells itself. The rest of it is all PR, it's all marketing, it's all the hoop bang wang shimmeling that comes after that fact. WWE has just entered this crazy stratosphere. Like, just before I started making this video, it came out that around about 5 million homes did watch Raw on Netflix, and I think their live numbers, if you take into account all the people that probably watched after the fact, well, my gosh, who the hell knows where that number is. So if you always wanted to sort of like have wrestling as an affectation that may be about to go away, maybe much like the late 90s, we about to go mainstream. That's totally fine because it's good for wrestling, and it's good for the business, and it's good for the wrestlers. But this is why I'm just so pumped to see what happens over the next 4 months. The Royal Rumble's going to be big, the Elimination Chamber is going to be big, and I think WWE, especially with the Netflix connection, is going to try and hit a mega home run with WrestleMania 41, and that rhymed, my friends. And what do I tell you over and over again? If something rhymes, it has to be true. Don't get mad at me, I don't make the rules. Obviously, look how stupid I look. The best part about all of it is that it does divide the audience, and that means there's a good old conversation to have, so please do get in the comments and just answer a nice simple question. If you were in charge and you were booking WWE, which would be hilarious, as it would be if I was doing it too, would you put The Rock in the show, or would you not? Let me know. Also, please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Click the video on the screen, which is me talking about what's going to happen in 2025 for WWE. I almost fell down. That's how excited I am about the future, because I am a nerd. Remember, being a nerd is a good thing, as is being ridiculous. Sometimes I drop the word ridiculous into things, and people are offended. If you are a ridiculous nerd, you are living the dream, my friend. That's how I feel. Have a great day. Know that I love you. Look out your window. You may see me. Obviously not. That's illegal. Goodbye.